Hello, how are we doing? You're with Carl, and today I am test driving an iX, and there's nothing there. A BMW iX. Now, I'd love to say I can afford one, but I can't. I have, if you haven't seen, I've done a review on my iX3, which I love. And so if you haven't seen that, go back, look in the comments, I'll put the link in below. But today I've been hired a iX. And the reason I got the iX is because my iX3 has gone back into the garage for some work. It's had a couple of faults come up. I don't know what, I don't know why. I've actually had this 6 days now. So I've decided to leave the review till I've had it a few days, because the review today would be different to when, so if I reviewed it in the first day. So I've lived with it for nearly a week, and it's like Marmite. You love it and hate it. So let me show you what I mean by a few of the things. Opening the door. Now, my whole life, from the age of 3 or 4, you've pulled a handle. That's a lot of times you've been pulling a handle, and then all of a sudden you now got to press a button. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I just don't know. Just don't know. Have a quick look around the car as well. Let's talk about the first thing that I really dislike. If I was to get one of these, the first thing I'd be changing is that. I mean, I know they're trying to be different. I know they're trying to make it look like an electric car, but it just looks like a cartoon sticker. It's like something you'd see on Looney Tunes that just doesn't make sense. I mean, I love the front. The side looks great. The back looks phenomenal. But the front is, why have they done that? I don't get it. I love the scoop, I love the lights, I love the bonnet, and then they put that on it. So if I was ever to get one, the first thing I'd do is change that grille. I think that's definitely going to be a love-hate. Let's go around this side so we're not getting blinded by the sun. Something else, that they've added shapes and they've added angles, and I don't know if you can see it here, and there's all these little funny angles, and what happens is when you walk out to your car, you think it's been dinged, you think someone hit it, because it makes the panels look bent. Now, some people will look at it and love it, but for me, when I walk out to the car, the slightest little knock, the slightest little dent, and I'm like, oh my god. So every time I've been looking at this for a week, I just feel like it's been dinged, and I'm like, oh no, I've got to give this back, and it's got a massive ding in it. The seats are stunning, inside and out, front and back. In the back, all the speakers are kind of in the door, which is really nice. There's tons and tons of room. I mean, it is stunningly beautiful in here. I love the shape of the seats. I love how they look. Obviously, fast chargers, dual climate controls or 4-way climate controls. The leather it doesn't feel like leather. It doesn't want to burn you on the heat wave that we've just had, but it is really nice. Front seats, again, they're probably one of the best seats I've ever sat in, if I'm honest. And let's be honest, when you're driving a car, you're sitting in the seat, you want it to be nice. Controls are good. And the boot, now I thought the boot looked really big, but for a really big car, that's a sheet of, I've got to go and get some more flooring. You can't get a single sheet in. I don't know how long it is. People are going to ask me how big the boot is. It's that big. You can get stuff in it, but for a really big car, I'll sort it out in a minute. For a really big car, it's not that big. As you can see, what I've had to do for a length of laminate floor, I had to put it in at a funny angle. So it looks pretty cool. I do love the back of it. I love it or hate it. I mean, it is beautiful to look at, but like I say, every time I get out of the house, walk towards it, I'm like, oh, someone knocked it. Again, it's just that grille that just doesn't do it for me. There you go, let's jump back in. Hate's probably a bit strong. I wouldn't say I hate it. There's so many things I absolutely love about this car, and there's so many things on this car that I am just not sure about. So I wouldn't say I hate them, I'm just not sure about them. And it's because I think what BMW have tried to do is to be different, change a few things, the way things work, the way the car is, to be different. And I can't work out how I feel about it. So we're going to talk about the steering wheel, body panels,
the size of the car, how the doors open, the range, the sound system, the cameras, the sat nav, the handling, the steering, the leather seats, the space, the key, the aftercare, etc, etc. And I'm actually just, oh, that was close, Mr. Vanman. I'm going to start at the beginning of the list and go through that. So I hope you enjoy the review. I'm just driving from Hastings back to Howsham because apparently so there's Zibit. So there's things I haven't sorted out, like the traffic announcements and stuff. So let's talk about that bit first. The onboard computer on here is good, but I think it's better in the iX3. This is good, and I'm pretty sure you'd get used to it within that's a couple of days. I've had it for a week, but I just haven't been bothered to change like the radio settings, like the traffic announcements. So that's probably going to come on over the next 10 minutes as we go through this review. The dial system on it is pretty good, but like when you click the button, for example, it doesn't feel as good. It's a bit tighter and there's less movement. So when you're navigating around the system, it works fine, but when you click it, it's a little bit like, have I clicked it? The feel to the click isn't as nice. Now that might sound really, really stupid, but I just, when I press the button, I like to know I've pressed the button. And on this one, I'm not too sure. It doesn't move quite enough. I know what they've tried to do. They've tried to neaten it up. They've tried to make everything 100%, and I think potentially they maybe have gone the other way with that. So again, over a couple of months you'd get used to it and it wouldn't bother you whatsoever, but at the moment for me it's a bit like, oh yeah, I'm not too sure. But the way it works, the way the system works, the way, you know, the system scrolls around it, again, BMW have got it really good. They've done really, really well with it, and they haven't done a bad job. Why are you trying to push in? Lorry's bigger than you. Well done. So that is the functions. Next thing, steering wheel. So you jump in and you've got this funny shaped steering wheel. Now BMW doing this, Audi are doing this, and I'm sure Mercedes and all the others are doing this. I got in it and I think I had the option on the iX3 to have this kind of square steering wheel, and I didn't like it. Now I've had it a week, I just don't know. It's nice because you can hold the top of it and you can hold the bottom of it, but again, for 20 years of my life I've been driving with a round steering wheel, possibly with a cut at the bottom. So you just get used to a round steering wheel, I think, and now it's square. I just don't know. And so that will be self-preference. If you're going to drive one, you're thinking about owning one, I think you'll just get in it and go, oh, I like it, or I don't like it. Now admittedly, I've got used to it, so it's not like I don't like it. It's not like I prefer it, I've just got used to it. There are times, potentially when you're driving or parking, it's more handy to have something a little bit easier to grab onto, but I mean, it is minute. It's definitely not a should I buy the car or not buy the car. It's just something that you've got to get used to. It just feels weird jumping in the car and looking at a squarer, hexagon, pentagon shaped steering wheel. I didn't study much in maths for shapes, so excuse me if I got that wrong. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. Quickly, the looks, they're a love, I just don't know, love hate. The grille just looks like a cartoon. I think if I was to buy and own one of these, I'd be changing the grille, or I'd certainly be asking BMW, how can I change the grille? Because I just do not like it at all. But then some people love the look of the electric car sticker front end. So if you love it, you'll be like, oh, I think it's beautiful. And then if you're a bit more of a petrol head like me, you'll look at it and go, why have they stuck a sticker on the front of the car? Because that's what it looks like, BMW. I am sorry about that. The screen size in the car, again, they've copied, or Mercedes, BMW, they're all going the same way. So I've got like a really wide angle curved screen, absolutely stunning to look at. It is crystal clear. It's like a 4K TV, and it is stunning to look at. Now, the few times my missus has been in the car sitting in the passenger seat, now I barely ever sit that side, so it doesn't really matter for me. Gesture controls work as well. She said it looks and feels weird sitting that side, because she can kind of see, so the screen ends like here, and she said that she can see like the side of it, and she said it just feels weird looking at the side of the screen. So again, if you're the driver, it really doesn't matter, does it? But if you're going to sit in the passenger side a lot, it might be, again, it's something new in it, it's different, and you might look at that and go, oh my god, it just doesn't feel right. And don't get me wrong, in 10 years time, every other car might be like this, and then the older style cars will just look weird and this will look normal. But the moment getting in it and looking at it, this side, driver side, It is really, really, really good. Passenger side, yeah, I'm not so sure, but I've not actually sat on that side at all, so I don't even know what it looks like. Just going on what the wife was telling me. Talking about the size of the screen, let's talk about the size of the car. It is a tank. It is a battleship. I would say it's on par with the GLE. So it's a big car. If you're not sure about driving a big car, then maybe this isn't for you. If you like big cars, then I definitely think you'd love it. It is big, it's got a lot of road presence. It does draw a lot of attention. Again, this is just black wheels, black chrome wheels. But when you're driving along, a lot of people are looking at it. I don't know if they're looking at it and going, oh look, there's one of the new IXs. I don't know if people are going, that's a hideous car. I don't know if people are looking at it and go, look at that posh idiot in his nice brand new shiny expensive electric car. I have no idea, but what it does is you get a lot of looks in it, even more so than my iX3 that's sign written, and that's probably because the iX3 looks like an X3. So the X3 isn't new, whereas the iX is new, so I think that's why it draws a lot more attention. And that's the other thing I'm not sure about. Again, for 20 years, BMW 3 Series, 5 Series, 7 Series, and then they added all the other numbers. But pretty much every single BMW has got a number. 1 Series, 2 Series, and so on. And then they've made this and they've gone, we'll make an iX. And my brain wants to say, iX what? What is it? Is it a 4? Is it a 5? Is it a 7? But it isn't anything. And that sounds really stupid, but I feel like it's missing a number, and that will sound really stupid, and some people will watch that and go, you're talking absolute rubbish. But that's what my brain wants to do. No reason why you should or shouldn't buy the car. Just, I feel like it needs a number, and I don't know why. So the sound system, Harman Kardon upgrade, it is very good. It is better than my iX3, to the point I'm wondering if they were missing a sub in my iX3. I've been told they haven't, and I will be asking them when I get there again. But the sound system in the iX is better than the iX3. All the speakers are kind of hidden in the doors. It looks like it's got a massive sound bar at the front, a bit like a cinema. It's got a speaker in the dashboard. It's kind of got speakers everywhere. Don't ask me how many it's got. Possibly a 16 speaker system. Again, when you play music on these, they do not give the credit, or they don't sound anywhere near as good as they should. Depends what music you're into. It is crystal clear, it is loud, it's pretty bassy, it's good enough to make the doors and the mirrors shake, which is always a good sign, I think. It does that in the iX3, but nowhere near as much as that. Again, it depends on what music you're into. So that's enough of the music, because on this video, you stay there, man. On this video, you won't be able to tell unless your computer or phone is linked up to a full surround sound system. Cameras on here, again, I would say they're like kind of full HD. When you're parking, they're beautiful, they're clear, you can see the whole car, they are absolutely phenomenal. When you've got the sat nav on, you kind of get a Fast and Furious. Instead of showing you a map, it shows you a map, but then it also shows you the cameras when you're coming off junctions. And then you know on really sharp bends you get the really big signs with the arrows that tell you you're going around a really big corner. It does that on the camera, so you'll be driving along and it's like, take the next left, and then it will give you these arrows to tell you to turn left. It's just really cool. It makes you feel like you're in a computer game. And it shows you the cameras on the car as well. So instead of showing you the road layout, as in on like Google Maps, for example, it actually shows you the road that you're on, and it shows you which way you should be going. So it's really clear, it's really cool, and it really does kind of, oh, I need to take that left. Because you know what it's like sometimes on a sat nav, and it's kind of got the Google Map view, and you're like, oh, is it this left or that left? If you've got two lefts that are close together, or is it this junction, or is it 50 yards later the next junction? Whereas this kind of shows you a colour HG image of which one you should take, which I really like. I barely ever use the sat nav because I pretty much just drive from a house to the gym and back, and then maybe once every 3 months I don't know where I'm going and I'll need to use the sat nav. So once every 3 months is pretty cool. But if you use sat nav all the time, then you'll be using it every day and you will absolutely love it. Let's go on to like the performance, and that's what probably most people are interested in. The performance, the handling. Now I assumed that it wasn't going to handle particularly well. That's a lie. It was going to handle well. Stop it. But I didn't think it would handle as well as the iX3 because it's bigger, it's heavier. Now, it handles better. That's right. This is heavier, it's bigger, it's wider, and it handles better. So that is apparently, I was told, due to the air suspension and the four-wheel steering, or the rear wheel steering, depending on the technical terms you want to use. And I'm sure there is an even more technical term. But for me, four-wheel steering. The rear wheels help turn the back of the car when you go around a corner. So everyday use, you won't notice it. It probably assists a little bit in parking. I don't know. It probably does if you start reading the book or Google it, which you can do if you like. But what it does is it means it handles really well, especially for the size of the car. Now, it doesn't handle as well as an M5 competition. However, for a SUV, for a big truck, if you used to compare this to the GLE, this handles a lot better. It still feels like a driver's car. It still feels like a BMW. But I was really shocked, pleasantly surprised at how well this goes around bends for a truck. Haven't gone stupid in this one because it has got a automatic dash cam in it, and it is a lease car as opposed to my car. It even been a lease car. So what happened is my iX come up with a fault, or my iX3 come up with a fault, and then within like 2 minutes BMW rung me. So let's talk about the aftercare while I'm there. And they said, are you okay? Are you safe? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? Your car's come up with a fault. I was like, yeah, it's come up with a power fault. We need to recover your car. I'm at home. I'm safe. I've got a cup of tea. Don't worry. That's like, okay, fine. We can send you a hire car tomorrow. Is the car okay to drive? Could you get it to BMW? So I took the car over to BMW the next day, and they met me there with this iX. They did say it might take a few days to rectify the fault. I'm like, that's fine. You've just given me a 90 grand car. Take as long as you want. So it took them 6 days. I'm on my way back to collect it now. And so I don't know what went wrong. There was a fault. I'm sure they'll tell me when I get there. There's probably a sensor that's gone wrong or something. So I'm not overly worried or fussed about it at the moment. After the BMW Aftercare, I mean, I've never had that in my life. Your car's broke down. Here's another car, £90,000 car. Have it for as long as you need it while we try and fix your car. Their communication has been brilliant. BMW have been brilliant over at Chandler's in Howsham. I cannot fault them whatsoever. It just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sorry, I went off slight topic there. Right, the leather, I did talk about it in the other little bit, but the leather in here is beautiful. It's soft, it's smooth. It doesn't burn you when it's red hot, because we've had a heat wave this week. It's really comfortable. The seats are beautiful. The space is comfortable. The manoeuvrability on the seats is great. Everything in this car, sitting in this car, it's luxurious. And it's definitely better than my iX3. So I am I'm not concerned, but I'm going to get back in my iX3 and go, it's not as nice as this one to sit in. And if you're a driver and you spend a lot of time in your car, let's be honest, you're sitting in it. You want to be comfortable. Excuse me. Nothing wrong with the iX3 whatsoever, but this is better, which upsets me a little bit. But then this is another 25, 30 grand more than the iX3. And other things I've tried to change. The key. So you got the lock button there, but then you've got the unlock button and all the other buttons there, which I really don't like. So you go to unlock it and you go, oh no, that's not the button, it's on the side. How pathetic and sad is that? But again, for 20 years, even as a kid, so 30 years of opening cars, Dad saying, can you run out to the car and get my book or bag, and then start driving for 20 years. Unlock your car, lock your car, it's there, isn't it? You hold the key and press it there. Now, I've got to turn it on its side. Do you know how many times I've tried to unlock this car like that, and then so again, something really minor, something you would get used to. Stop it. And let's go back to performance to finish off. I'm in traffic, I'm doing 40 mile an hour. Oh, we didn't talk about range, let's talk about range. I've only had it 6 days, so I can't really test it properly. I've only charged it once. When I picked it up, it had near enough a full charge. I've been driving it, I would say medium, so I haven't been driving it slowly, but I definitely haven't been driving it fast and hard because of that camera thing up there. I don't want anyone ringing me going, excuse me sir, did you know you were doing this? So when I fully charged it a few days ago, and it told me I had 250 miles range. So when I fully charge my iX3, as a rule, when I fully charge it, it tells me I have 180 miles range. So if you look at it that way, it's got 70 miles more range. Now I can get 250 miles out of my iX3 if I go on a long journey, but round town it's 180, 190 miles.
It is, Danielle, they've got...
So if we look at a full charge and what it tells you for every day driving around town, which is what I've done in this, in all fairness, this in theory has got about 70 miles more range than the iX3. If we think about it, if that's 250 miles around town, in theory that's going to be 300 miles, maybe a bit more on a long run. Now I'm pretty sure you could Google it and get the statistics or stats on what it should do. I am just getting, so don't hold me to that. I'm just guessing. Fully charged, 250 miles. I'm pretty sure if I went on a run, it would do a lot more. If you drive around town heavy, I'm pretty sure that would probably drop quicker as well, because it's a bigger, heavier car and it has got a bit more grunt. Let's finish off with the grunt. Took a friend out in it yesterday and he was like, oh my god, I want to buy one. Is it quicker than my iX3? Yes, definitely feels like it's quicker. So again, I'm sitting in traffic, so I can't really show you the power of the car, but put it in sport. There you go, we're in sport. And it just, again, same as the iX3, same as every electric car, you put your foot down and it just punches you in the back and it wants to go. So we've got a bit of an A road coming up, which is ironic. Just make sure there's nothing in front of me. So roundabout, this person can't drive and wants to cut roundabout. Well done, Nissan. So yeah, he's turned off. Right, so we are doing 30 mile an hour. Make sure we've got a bit of space, make sure the road is straight, make sure the road is clear. So we're now doing 40. Oh, it's clear. 50, 60 plus. That's how fast it accelerates. You just press the pedal, it reacts, and it wants to go. More than enough power for the road. Now this is the 40. I don't know what that means, by the way, but I've been told it has one engine. I have been told there is a 50 model that has 2 engines, so even more power, which I'd like to try. And then apparently they're making a 60 model, and I don't know if that's going to have 4 engines or better tuned, more powerful, more kilowatt engines, but I've been told it is a monster. Now this, for everyday driving, normally my cars are sign written, so I tend to drive as carefully as I should when the sign writing is on. As you should all the time, kids, by the way. But, again, took the wife out in it. This is surprisingly fast. It is quicker than a 440. Didn't go mad, just coming home from the gym, but I was definitely pulling away from her up to the limits of the road. It just, again, it's good fun. And I'm pretty sure, you know, once you got to the maximum speed limit and beyond, I'm pretty sure her 4 Series would come rocketing past. But round town, instant torque, even for it's not a mini SUV, is it? I would call this a truck. It goes really well, and I don't think you would be disappointed. It's more than enough for the road. If you want more power, go for the 50. If I was to buy one, I would probably go for the 50. I have no idea how much they are. Before you ask me, Google it. When I had a quick Google/look, a 21 plate version of this was 85 grand. This is a 22. I'm guessing they're about 85 to 90. This is a 40 model. I have no idea what the 50 or 60 would be. I'm assuming there's probably a big waiting list as well. But they're not cheap. Would I buy one? I definitely don't have 90 grand spare, that's for sure. So thank you, BMW, for lending it to me. Is it worth the 90 grand? If you want a big truck, then you're going to have to spend this sort of money. The problem for me is it puts it into territory of other cars that I also really like, being a petrol head. Electric truck versus other stuff, I just don't know. I'm really on the fence. Do I love the car? Yes. I love driving it. There's bits I'm not sure about, which we've discussed. Is it powerful enough? Yes. Does it handle well enough? Definitely. And I haven't pushed it, but you can feel that it does. It's just, I suppose it's the price, £85,000–90,000. It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Would I spend the extra £35,000? Yeah, no, you can do that, Skoda. Would I spend the extra 35 grand on just to get a bit bigger? I don't know. It's a little bit quicker. It handles slightly better. It has more tech in it. The sound system is better. It is smoother. The air suspension, four-wheel steering is phenomenal. The leather is better. It is softer. It is more comfortable. Tick, 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 tick. There's loads of things that are just weird. The key, the button, the opening the doors, the front grille. They're just strange. They're just, I'm just not sure. I'm pretty sure in 10 years' time, most cars will be like this. So I don't know if that helps you. I don't know if this review has gone, oh, okay, yeah, let's get one, or I like it. Or you might go, that just hasn't helped me whatsoever, but I'm just trying to be as honest I can. A massive shout out to Adam, is who I deal with at BMW in Howsham, so Chandler's BMW Howsham. Massive shout out to them for looking after me, giving me this beautiful car for nearly a week. Really good customer care. I literally cannot fault them. I run my own business. I know how important customer care is, and it's probably the best customer care I've ever had when it comes to a car. So well done, big thumbs up. Should you buy one, what I would say is go and test drive one and see if it's for you. I honestly think you need to drive it. Once you've driven it, you will go, yep, love it, roundabout, go. Yeah, you'll drive it, you'll love it like that, or you'll get in it and you'll go, that's all right, which I don't think you will do, but it will be all the other things you'll get in it and go, well, I'm not sure about that, I'm not sure about that. And I do think that will probably be the deciding factor. Let's be honest, if you're looking to buy one and you've got that sort of money, I don't really think it's going to be the money that's going to hold you back on it. I really don't. It will be the, do you like it, do you not like it, is it for you, is it not for you? Do I like square steering wheels? Do I like this curved screen, Kia button? I don't think that should stop you buying the car. I just think they're everyday things that could be really annoying. That's my review. I hope you've liked it. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Have you got one? Have you brought one? Do you think the same? Please give us a like, a share, a love, a thumbs up. Again, drop in the comments. If you've got any questions, I will try and answer them. I can't guarantee you that I can, but I will do my best to answer them. I've rattled on for nearly half an hour now, so have a great day. Test drive one as soon as you can, and then work out for yourself if you want one. Take care. I'll see you soon.